So Rockstar has opened pre-orders for Grand Theft Auto 6 recently, and if somehow you haven't heard what the price of the game is, then I won't mention it just yet. Instead, let's talk about one of the main reasons I have seen people defend the price: the development cost of the game. In case you've been living under a rock, GTA 6 seems like it's going to be the biggest game in our lifetime, both in development costs and storage space most likely. I mean, geez, I can actually count the wrinkles on this dude's forehead. The game is currently estimated to have cost Rockstar about $2 billion, with potentially a total cost of $3 billion. This would come from any post-launch support or marketing the game, which if you ask me, the game doesn't need any sort of marketing and would still be extremely successful. Now, the $3 billion question. How much should a game of that scale be sold for? The industry standard as of right now seems to be $70 for AAA games, while there are some oddities out there that go above that, but we'll get to that later. The day before pre-orders went live, Rockstar revealed the price of Grand Theft Auto 6 through a tweet of all things. The biggest game that has ever released will cost $80. Well, for the standard edition. Can you believe that some people were actually okay with paying $100 for the base version of the game? Well, they might have to anyway. On June 25th, 2026, players were given the option of pre-ordering either the standard edition or the ultimate edition of the game. As we saw before, the standard edition is $80, while the ultimate edition is a whole Benjamin. Now, this isn't anything new nowadays. Unfortunately, that's the one thing you can always count on. There will always be a more expensive edition you can buy. Now, most of the time, these things include minor things like cosmetics that can be purchased later, or just stuff that doesn't necessarily impact your enjoyment of the full game. On the rare chance it includes extra actual game content, most of the time the main game can still be enjoyed without it. Now, back to GTA 6 and its premium edition. For the most part, everything seems to be on par with what we have seen before. A 90s car, a 90s outfit for Jason, a 90s outfit for Lucia, a $90 price tag. All in all, it seems to be mostly cosmetic things. All of these things, yeah, they're cool or whatever, but how can we get even more Benjamins out of people? Let's lock basic game features the older games had behind an ultimate edition. Wait, what? So yeah, I guess we could do that. So far, 5 in-game locations seem to be locked behind the $100 Ultimate Edition of the game. So I guess segregation was never outlawed in the GTA universe, because here are the stores that are only open for business with the Ultimate Edition. Ride Out Customs, Sarah's Unisex Salon, Stock 305, Electric Fang Tattoo, and One-Eyed Willie's. So a hair salon, a tattoo shop, a clothing store, and 2 car mod shops will be exclusive to the Ultimate Edition of the game. Now, while I agree this is a problem, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding what this means and are overreacting slightly. This does not mean that if you don't purchase the Ultimate Edition of the game, you're going to be stuck with an old geeky ass haircut for the entirety of the game. Or you won't be able to get tattoos or even customize your own fucking car. That would just be silly. And honestly, we should stop giving them ideas on what to do for the Ultimate Edition of GTA 7. If that ever comes out. Although it's not a huge problem, it is a huge inconvenience. Think back of when you were happy and played GTA Online with your friends. Okay, you're right, that's too hard. Think back of when you were playing GTA Online with your friends and wanted to customize your Turismo that you bought with mommy's credit card. So you open your mini-map and head to the nearest Los Santos Customs, but once you roll up to the garage, it won't open. Instead, you are met with this.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
Wow, game ruined. I mean, not really. Just head to the next nearest one. I get that it's an inconvenience to do, but that's all it is. A minor inconvenience. Well, for now. For all we know, they could sell insane items that make your car fly or something. Now, is it scummy to lock certain locations of the map to the Ultimate Edition? Yes. Will it cost people to have FOMO and spend an extra $20 just to get the complete map? Yes. Is it working? Yes. I know I just made a joke about an exclusive car mod that makes your car fly as something they wouldn't do, but I never said they didn't sell exclusive tattoos, haircuts, or clothing. Now, is that a big deal? To some, yeah, since these are things that have always been part of the base game, and it seems kind of weird to lock them behind a paywall now. But at the end of the day, these items won't really kill your enjoyment of the game. Now, on the other hand, if I'm profiled as a broke boy and are thrown out of a store, I might have an issue with that. I would prefer if the items remain exclusive but not be locked out of certain stores because I didn't fork over the extra $20. I mean, I still paid $80 for the city, guys. Speaking of which, since the game won't release on PC day one, I have to dust off the old PS5 to play it, so I might as well get the physical version since this game is probably going to be huge. Never mind, the physical edition of this game literally does not exist. Now, I won't go too deep into the whole physical versus digital subject since if I'm being honest,
I don't really care that much.
It would be hypocritical of me to care that much since I mainly play games on my PC, which doesn't do physical. Well, some do, but they're weird. So if you get the physical edition of GTA 6, you get a nice little case with a very fine print of paper for $80. Or if you want the full experience, $100, which is a bit crazy, isn't it? Before the game was revealed to cost $80, I saw so many people saying they would happily pay over $100 for this one game just because of the content the game offered and possible hundreds of hours of content the game could provide for them. But is that how we should justify how much developers charge for their game? This is Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I played this game on release and really enjoyed the gameplay for this game. I enjoyed the story mode of this game and the little side missions the game offered, and overall had a great time. I played this game for about 30 hours. I paid $70. This is Terraria. No, I'm not saying Terraria, that's weird. Terraria has no story mode and is a simple sandbox game. I love playing this game, and it has tons of content and potential for many different playthroughs. I played this game for 475 hours. I paid $10. Now, I'm not saying I should have paid $70 for Terraria or $10 for Spider-Man. As we all know, these games have extremely different budget sizes. What I am saying is that it's not realistic to decide a game price based on the content of the game, as that can vary from person to person. Take a game like Persona 5 Royal. I love that game and I have spent hundreds of hours on that game for multiple playthroughs. Should a game like that be $10 less than something like Resident Evil Requiem? I haven't played this game personally, but I heard it was an amazing story game that most people enjoyed. Although most people would be done with it in about 12 hours as the story is not that long. Should we increase or decrease the value of these games just based on the amount of time people spend on them? Sure, it's easy to say yes, in a perfect world a game is priced based on the hours of content they provide. But who gets to decide that? Developers? Sure, let's let them tell us how much their game is worth, and then we end up with games like Mario Kart World, which is still being sold for $80. So is it fair to say that a game that is the size that GTA 6 is should cost $80? Or even $100? Well, this is Rockstar we're talking about. The amount of work and care they have placed on their previous games alone should be able to answer a question like that. I mean, they even have a horse's balls shrink during the winter segments of Red Dead 2, so it's not like they overlook details. If I'm being honest though, all of these little intricate details I could take or leave when I play these games, but to say that the effort isn't there would be a bald-faced lie, and we all know it. So in a way, is it fair to say that GTA 6 should cost $80 at launch? It shouldn't, but let's say it should. This leads us to the actual problem with this price. GTA 6 is $80, huh? What if I just... Yeah, that looks good. Let's go back in time to the year 2020. That PlayStation 5 was just revealed. Oh my god, I can't wait to buy so many games on my brand new console later this year. Demon's Souls, a remake of a PS3 game, is now $70. Wow, that's kind of crazy, but I guess it kind of makes sense as we're moving forward in generations. I mean, I guess it's kind of justified. Oh. When a company decides to increase the price of their games, and more importantly, they sell well, it kind of tells the other companies that they could do it too. Now, for some reason, Nintendo has been doing this despite not having any reason to do so. Tears of the Kingdom, a game that used the same core engine as Breath of the Wild, released on the Switch 1 in 2023 for a whopping $70, despite being on the same hardware as its predecessor, and offering about the same amount of content. Now, the standard had been $70 for a few years now, but this was accepted because of the upgraded hardware the game was being played on. This, though, was just pure greed. Now we move on to last year, where Nintendo released the Switch 2 with Mario Kart World as one of its launch titles. For whatever reason, Nintendo believes that this game is worth $80. I, however, don't. So I made a couple of emails complaining about the price and how it should be lowered. I think we all know how that went. Despite the outrageous price, people bought the game and it was extremely successful, although most of the sales probably came from the bundle. Nintendo learned that day that people will pay for whatever they feel like charging for their first party titles. Pokemon Pokopia, a great game I've made a video about before. $70 at launch, and it once again sold extremely well. Now, I'm not here to shit on Nintendo all day. Most of the time they're just following the market standard for game pricings, and it's not entirely their fault. And I don't hate Nintendo. I mean, they made a few scummy choices, but that's not the main topic of this. The point is that if enough companies start thinking, hey, my game is worth $80, then you are setting up a new standard for pricing when it comes to video games. Nintendo already did it with Mario Kart World and Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition. And now with GTA 6 releasing at $80, it sets up a bad precedent for the future to come in this industry. Games like the new God of War will start thinking, hey, my game is worth the shit. I'm gonna charge $80 for it. And eventually we'll end up with a new industry standard, an $80 price tag. My guess would be that games will start charging more next year as we get more and more successful $80 games this year. Ending the year we will get GTA 6, which is a no-brainer that is going to be successful no matter what. No amount of protesting will stop this game from being successful despite it releasing with no physical copy or even including online with their game, as it is being currently marketed as a single player experience. Then a month later we will get the new Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake, which there is no way in hell Nintendo doesn't charge $80 for. If they think Mario Kart World and Tears of the Kingdom are worth that, then there's no way it's not $80. It's a remake of not only the best Zelda game of all time, the best game of all time for many, so you know damn well it's going to be $80. Unfortunately, there isn't anything we can do to stop this, and we'll just have to wait and take it like good boys. There's nothing we can do to stop GTA 6 from being successful, and we'll just have to see where the future of this industry heads as games get more and more expensive and bigger than they have ever been before. Now, as for me, there's something you need to know about me. I am a hypocrite and will be playing GTA 6 day one.